COVID was a game changer. And in one way, specifically, was people being able to work remote. Companies had no choice. They had to set up a remote structure for people to work from home because no one was allowed in the office. I'm an accountant. I work in an office. Big surprise. I mean, kind of surprising the way I look, but I am. And now, with big companies able to reduce office space at a premium of over $80 a square foot, moving to New Jersey and paying $25 a square foot, plus allowing a remote or hybrid schedule, has changed a lot of things. People can still do their jobs, and the jobs are getting done. The people are happier because I get 2 remote days. It's great. It's great for me, my well being, my mental state, and I'm still getting my job done. So companies are now switching to satellite offices in Jersey with a hybrid schedule, and now they can save hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars on office space in the city because it's premium. And in Jersey, you're paying a third.
I agree, but also don't you think that the productivity of people is not as high as it used to be when they used to go to the office? I mean, listen, business ethics, productivity can only happen where you have the atmosphere of a business, an office, an environment. So yes, on the plus side for the companies, they are saving millions of dollars. I do real estate in the city, and 75% of the commercial sector, they cannot find tenants. They literally cannot find tenants. And day before yesterday, Mayor Adams actually proposed converting some of the commercial properties into 20,000 apartments. Why? Because these landlords, they will go bankrupt. If they go bankrupt, who will pay the taxes? If the city goes in tax deficit, what happens? The tolls go up. Who pays for the tolls? We, right? So, so this is like a whole cycle of economy here. Uh, but I don't know if I'm in favor of the hybrid situation or working from home. Uh, that is just my view. Once again, I personally feel if I own a business, I want my people to come to work so I can measure their productivity. Because at the end of the day, as a boss, if you're going to pay your employees, it all comes down to input versus output. That's how you measure productivity. Um, Dave, what do you think on this topic of working from home and so forth?
Well, I believe some jobs can be done remotely, but overall, I think people have to get together and be able to communicate face to face. Remotely, it's kind of impersonal. You don't really see the person's reactions and be able to is actually performing. Um, Everybody could be a robot, and if you're just working on one particular thing, that doesn't mean you're growing the company. If you put more heads together, constantly speaking, I think a company can grow faster that way than just having a bunch of remote robots sending information and here it is and not getting other inputs. Because in person, you're always given more inputs rather than, hey, this is the work I got to do, and that's it.
I agree. So now, since we are on COVID, I have one question to ask you guys. Do you think COVID is man-made? Do you think it's a flu? Do you think it's a virus? Uh, I mean, conspiracy theory on this can go on and on. And we have Dave, the king of conspiracy theories here.
Uh,
So, 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 Dave, let's start this one with you. Uh, what is it?
COVID, do you say Wuhan? It came from Wuhan. Wuhan has a lab, so most likely it came from a Wuhan lab. It's pretty obvious, not from some bat. Um, was it a mistake? Possible. Was it released on purpose? possible. Who was involved? It could range in many conspiracies. Yeah, if it could be, if it was an accident, it's an accident. If it was released, for what reasons? It could be to test the world, pressure test it, how it will react to big viruses like that. Maybe it's continued to, that was a test. The next one that would be released would be more lethal. Um, Many other conspiracies that was the U.S. government involved in the release, this and that, but that's in huge other broad spectrums. That could be possible. Who knows?
What about you, Steve?
Let me put my tinfoil hat on. Yes, I do believe it was man-made. Yes, I do believe it was released as a test to see how we respond to things as a group, as a whole. In my opinion, we failed. We were divided. Everything, again, this is another thing that further divided us as a people. We vax versus unvax. I personally am unvaxxed. I won't put that poison in my body. You haven't been able to vaccinate the flu. Well, Jesus Christ probably got the flu. We still can't cure it. COVID's the same. It's a COVID virus. It's going to evolve. It's going to change every year. So there's no getting rid of it. It's here to stay. Now, do I feel it's lethal right now? No. At first it was, but I think it was targeted. I honestly think it was a DNA targeted virus that hit a certain sector of the population brutally.
But why
But the
would they do
rest,
that? Why would they do, especially seniors over 65 and people who have chronic illnesses? So my question to you is, why?
why? A, potential population control. We have medical advancements that allow humans to live
Steve, we are
way
talking
longer.
about just not United States. We're talking about the whole globe.
We
The
are,
whole globe was brought down to its knees. Every country in this
correct.
world was brought down to its knees. So my thing is, I mean, once again, this can be a conspiracy here as well, but why do you think, why did they target this specific demographic of the population?
I don't think it was
Well, I
specific,
could
to be honest. Go on, Dave.
I could chime in on that a little bit.
Go
Well,
ahead.
so basically, this targeted the elderly, disabled, people who are sick, and who pays for those people? Social Security, the government, Medicare. Now, if you eliminate those people, how much money does the government now save? So
So
that
you are
goes
saying
into
that
another
somehow
conspiracy.
US colluded with China on this?
No. Well, Dave, go on that one. I don't think so.
Because I understand,
Well, I'm
go
always
ahead.
saying that everything is a possibility.
Right.
Did they collude? Did they not? That's horrible. That's sick. You know, but it's possible if one person thinks it. If I think of this conspiracy theory, why can't somebody else higher up actually think about it and put it in motion?
Agreed. And in addition to that, insider trading, one of the biggest kickbacks Trump got on COVID was the delay. Why didn't he act quick enough? Well, it gave everybody in the government time to move their money around. Again, who's running this? Pfizer. I don't trust Pfizer at all. In my opinion, I compare them to Umbrella Corporation, which is, well, a whole nother story.
Well, in my opinion, so once again, these are just my views, and I'm not being biased to anyone, but from what I think is, if you look at when Trump was president, the sanctions that US had on China, on the tariffs, the tariffs, I mean, they had. Uh, Look at how strict they were with Iran and other Muslim countries. Once again, I'm not attacking anyone. I'm not being biased. This is just my views. I personally feel the main purpose of China to release this virus, if this was man-made, was to get it into the White House. Because I think and I feel deep in my heart that if COVID would have not happened, Trump would have won the election again. There is no doubt in my mind. Once again, this is my view and this is how I see it. And the thing is, if a country can somehow penetrate the most secured building in the whole world with the virus, and the most secured person in this world, which is the president of the United States, they can do anything, right? And that's what happened. I think the COVID was his downfall. He did what he could as a president. $2 trillion money. US printed $2 trillion, 2 trillion that year, gave stimulus, gave money to people so they can become lazy and not work, stay at home. And guess what? At that time it was fun for people to stay home and get paid. Uh, but people who made money, they didn't get paid. I didn't get any stimulus. I still remember, and till this day it is. And so, I mean, if you make money, you are going to get screwed. Like, that's my question. So, I mean, this is just my view. I think it was pretty much because what happens when Biden came in power? What's the first thing he did? He lifted restrictions with China. He opened the travel ban from China. That was the first thing he did as president. What did he do? Iran. He tried to lift off the restrictions. Iran. And as a result of which, I mean, you can see what's going on in Israel. Netanyahu thinks that Iran is the biggest threat to the democracy of Israel and wants to stop them from the nuclear power that Iran possesses. So everything has pros and cons. So just not to go off the topic, I personally feel this was a man-made, legitimate move made by China to, just oust Trump from the presidency. And I mean, listen, what's his name? Anthony Fauci, his organization actually, I think last year or in 2021, during the Congress hearing, they actually admitted that they did fund the virus that was created in Wuhan lab. So,
that makes a lot of sense.
so going back to the thing now, just to get off this topic, I want to ask you, do you think President John F. Kennedy was assassinated by the CIA? Or was it Oswald? Dave, let's start with you.
I don't know. They say to Russian spies that he accidentally got shot in the back by a Secret Service agent. There's so many things. What were the reasons for that? I don't know. I didn't do that much research on it. I wanted to talk to other people about that, people in that generation, not what people think now. Because I think that'll get more like talk to people, older people about that rather than people who weren't around during that time that have their own conspiracies about it.
Steve.
It's a very controversial topic, and I don't believe we have the full story on it. Something did happen, and it was by design, in my opinion. I'm not, again, I can't be 100%, but just the way the shots hit him didn't line up. I think Oswald was a scapegoat, but again, I'm not 100% sure, way before my time as well. And I'd be a fool to give any more information on it than that.
No problem.